November 14th through 17, 2025, the West Coast Trailer Sailing Squadron joined the Gulf Coast Traditional Small Craft Association for a weekend of sailing and fellowship. We went to historic Cedar Key, which is in Levy County, Florida. Cedar Key was incorporated in 1859. It juts out into the Gulf of Mexico, and the West Coast Trailer Sailing Squadron has been going there for nearly 30 years. It's a challenging area with tides, muds, oyster bars, but it's filled with wildlife and natural beauty that make it one of our favorites still. November 14th, 2025, we're up here in Cedar Key with the West Coast Trailer Sailing Squadron and the Gulf Coast Traditional Small Craft Society. Friday, beautiful day. It's such a nice temperature. It's probably, 56 degrees or something, 58, sunny, dry. Got a little breeze, enough to sail, but they're calling it to lighten up, so we got an early start today. We're sailing before 10. I'm out with Ida. Say hi, Ida.
Hello.
And there we go. And we just left Cedar Key, and that's at Sina Odie over there. And we're not going to go too far because we don't want to get stranded with no wind too far away. But our plan is to sail around nearby today and this afternoon when the sea breeze comes in, help use that to sail out to North Key where we'll spend the night. At least that's the plan for now. All right, back to sailing. We started sailing toward Snake Key in the early morning winds. Around 11, the wind died as we neared Snake Key, so we rowed into the beach and landed and had some lunch. During lunch, there were some dolphins that put on quite a feeding show right off the beach in front of us. Afterwards, we noticed that the sea breeze had started to fill in with a westerly breeze, so we decided to go out for a sail. We sailed around to the west side of Snake Key and came through the cut that's always full of wildlife and beauty. Afterwards, we sailed back toward Sina Odie to meet up with the rest of the fleet. There we saw a number of the early bird traditional small craft that had come for the weekend. We had a brief meetup at Sina, and then Craig and I sailed off to North Key, where we planned on spending the night. It's November 14th, 2025, a little after 3:30 in the afternoon. Here at Cedar Key, there's at Sina Odie. We've had a really nice sailing day. Winds were a little better than predicted. We were calmed only from about, 11 to 12. And then a nice little breeze picked up, plenty enough to sail, and we were out to Snake Key and then back to Sina and met up with all the boats here. There's Craig over there. Craig and I are working our way up to North Key for the evening. We'll anchor out off of North Key, have our dinners, put our tents up, and probably have a great night. It's just perfect weather here. So we're having a great time. Met a couple of folks and looking forward to a day of sailing tomorrow. But right now we're looking forward to a fabulous sail up to North Key. November 14th, 2025, coming up on 4:45. We're not too far away from our destination, North Key. It's been a real lovely sail up. There's a seahorse there, and at Sina where we came from, and the town. But just had this lovely sailing, steady as she goes, 3.5, 4 knots the whole time. Real smooth. And we'll be making our final tack to get around to the backside of North Island in just a minute. But we'll be coming to the end of a great day one here up at Cedar Key. Just really relaxing sailing, nice conversation with friends, and now looking forward to a beautiful night aboard and a nice meal. We came around the west side of North Key about half an hour before sunset. We had decided on McCrary Cove as the best choice for our anchorage, as we had been there many times before, and the winds, while they were northwest and blowing slightly on shore, were scheduled to go to the north and then to the east, which would have put the cove in a perfectly lee and smooth state, which it did. We set up our tents watched the sunset, and then made our dinners. After an early dinner, we went to bed. Though I did wake up in the night. It was an amazing night because there was no moon for most of it. It was very dark, so dark that we could actually see the Milky Way. Next morning, we got up to a beautiful misty sunrise, and after a leisurely morning of breakfast and giving the tent some time to dry out, we eventually broke down and started to head back to Cedar Key. Craig and I spent a fantastic night back here in McCrary Cove. We're getting a nice late start here. It's like 10:40 by the time we got sailing. That's primarily because I needed to give my tent time to dry out. It was a pretty damp morning. And winds aren't super strong, but they've switched around to the east now. So we're heading back toward Cedar, so it'll be upwind back because it was out of the west last night and made it upwind coming here. But in these light winds, they're probably 5 or less. I'd rather be going upwind because of the increase in apparent wind. But we're moving along, probably 3 knots-ish. And that'll get us there. And just super pleasant sailing today. Weather's perfect. Temperatures are great, like 60, 62. Fairly dry, clear air. Wonderful. All right, back to sailing. We'll check in later. Coming up to Cedar Key for lunch here. We've been tacking up in light air. We're getting that favorable wind shift to the southwest we expected and making it easy to get to Cedar. We arrived at Cedar about lunchtime, and after a quick lunch, we were able to organize a parade of sail with all of the boats. After a short while, all the boats fell into an easy reach-to-reach parade in front of the town. It must have been a nice view for the people in the town, and it was very nice for us to see one another and take nice pictures of boats as they sailed by. About 3 o'clock, Craig and I decided it was time to sail off to our next anchorage. This time we chose Snake Key, where we had been for lunch the day before. The winds were from the southwest going west, and that beach was perfectly protected for the evening, so that's where we went. We arrived there not too late in the afternoon and were able to leisurely set our tents up and have a little drink as the sun went down, and then of course eat our dinners and went to bed early. In the morning we had a beautiful sunrise as the beach faced to the east, so we saw the sun come up. It was also good for drying out our tents. So after breakfast and a short while, we were able to break down and set sail for Cedar Key. It's November 16th, 2025, just before noon. Here at Cedar Key with the West Coast Trailer Sailing Squadron. We had a beautiful night last night over on Snake Key here, and beautiful sail this morning down to Cedar and over to the town and rendezvoused with our friends and picked up a passenger and sailed back to Snake and through the cut, which was lovely. And now we're sailing back. Craig and I are probably going to pull out when we get back to town and go to lunch and head home. But it has been a fantastic 3 days. Very relaxing. Nice sailing, like we can see now. Nothing that was overpowering or challenging, but enough to move us along nicely to go wherever we wanted to go, and just perfect temperatures, just so comfortable the whole day and the whole night. So very, very fortunate weekend, and something that we cherish, and hopefully we'll be able to keep doing this for a long time. Alright, I'm going to sign off and go land and pull the boat and put away and head home. The winds were light and landing at the dock was no problem. Craig and I usually work very well together, and in less than 10 minutes we had both the boats out. We slowly took them down, packed up, and drove home. This truly was one of the most relaxing trips to Cedar Key ever.